once you have done with these remediation, like for each and every attack you are going to give the remediation steps, like if you are doing this you need to do this, then only you will be able to stop those attacks. So I have opened all that. Just look into those remediation steps. Identity. This is the remediation. Assalamu alaikum, Danish. Oh, we are waiting for you only.
Oh, I just now came from there.
Okay. No, we were struck up somewhere. Okay, we were just waiting for you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
There is that remediation. Okay, go back to live. Let's see. Okay, see, here if we are having, let's say we are doing some network and routing, at this level we are attacking. Okay. So what are those attacks? Spoofing, altering, replaying, wormholes, all these kind of attacks we are doing it at this network level. So how are we going to do those countermeasure here? So first you will put authentication. In everything you are going to stop. At network level you are going to first authenticate yourself, then only I will allow. Without authentication I am not going to allow it. Okay. So that is one layer. After that you have to identify yourself, or I am going to encrypt it. So those are all my remediation steps. This is at a physical level. Okay. These are at data center level. Tampering or jamming, all those things. Okay. So how are we going to do those countermeasures at that level? So once we have done with these remediation, or we can call it as remediation also. Once you are done with that, how are you going to remediate that? So we are going to validate those remediation. So we have done the auditing on that, on network level, link level, physical level, all we have audited, and we have found out those recommendations. So we are giving those type of recommendation to them. Okay. So that we are going to analyze what are your findings. So this team will be done by third party, or internal team only. They will be a different team, okay, who will perform this audit finding. So once there is audit, you are asked to step back. Okay, don't come. Like you are an invigilator and the squad came. Okay, they will ask you to step back. Okay, it's our job. We will see how you are doing it. That is the difference between audit and validation. Remediation, it will be our job, whatever remediated. Audit means what you have lacked, where you have missed it. That is the audit findings. So again, in managing the entire architecture, you will be doing the asset management and configuration. So this itself is a huge tool, asset management. So within that asset management, you have lot of stuff like chain management, blah blah blah, and all will come. Support matrix, service owner, application owner, downtime, priority, criticality, end of life, end of support, extended life of support. All those things will come under this asset management and configuration control. Okay, that is about recapping session for risk management. Okay. So yesterday we discussed about, we saw about PCI DSS, right? In the bank infrastructure. Yeah, Shamsher?
Hello?
Yeah. We saw the bank infrastructure, right, yesterday.
Yes.
I discussed about PCI DSS, right?
Yes.
So this is a standard that you need to follow if you are touching the credit card data, whoever it is. Okay. So if you want to deal with these credit card data, you should follow these guidelines. PCI DSS. Okay. This is a standard, payment card industry data security standard. Then only they will allow the transaction to happen. RuPay also has to follow. We have Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, all those. So what is this PCI DSS will do? Okay. This is the compliance. So if you want to do that, we are having version 3 now. Okay. It is not at all compromised. Okay. If we are not compliant to this PCI DSS, then you will be heavily penalized or your license will be revoked. Okay. Whether you are a processor or merchant, with all those agreements, we need to sign that. I will show you what is payment processing and bank. Processor. So these are all payment processors, or you can call them as acquirers. Okay. So we have issuers also. You have here HDFC, Citibank, Morgan Chase, HDFC, ICICI, all this. Here in Gateway, we have PayPal, Razorpay. One more is there for in India we use it. These are the gateways. Okay, they will just connect to that, and you will have to follow that. Okay, they will just connect to these issuers and processors. Okay. Let's say if you are doing any transaction, okay, buying or selling, so these issuers and acquirers has to follow all these PCI DSS. If they are not following that standard in their data center or in their data security, then they will be heavily penalized for that. Okay, so that's why it will be very important uh, to have to set those standards. Okay. Payment processors in India, I will tell. Razor Pay will come here. Okay. And banking UPI, top 10. These are payment gateways. PayU Money, PayU Biz. These are all gateways.
So,
Yeah.
so all these four are mandatory for this payment system to work?
Everyone has to follow this standard, PCI DSS. Okay. See here. Generally agreed. So you have to agree. Then only they will allow you to do the transaction. Okay. This is the data security standard. Okay, DSS. Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. Okay.
Everyone don't have, I think.
Huh?
Everyone don't have this, I think.
See, if you do financial transaction, no, card transaction, you need to follow this, or else they will not allow you to come. So if you say, okay, I am Rupee, let's say I am Rupee, I will give you one example, okay. So I have a network, Visa, Maestro, MasterCard I have. I am a Rupee. I will not follow PCI DSS. Rupee will say that, okay. They will tell, okay, we will not transact with you. You just come with a separate gateway, where we will have PCI DSS. If you see, there is a SWIFT payment system. I will show you that one also.
Yes. China.
China, okay. These are all the payments in Chinese. We have Alipay. The other one famous is I didn't do that. Only Alipay, I know. Banking system, SWIFT we will have. Okay. SWIFT is just a code. That's it. Not a standard. It is just a code. To translate, that is just a code.
Okay. This wire transfer means what? This day?
Wire transfer is different.
This is completely different.
Yeah. Like you have Union, right? There is Western Union.
That's wire transfer.
Okay.
The technology is different, right?
Yeah. Okay. These are all different payments systems. Okay. So they have to follow those standards, and they have to bind with their policies. So we'll discuss what is that PCI DSS. Okay. These are the decisions, policies that will be enforced. Okay. So what are the control objects, conditions that you have to meet, and these will be the standard, the latest standard. Those will be our guidelines. You need to follow all these. This is all the process. Okay. So what is the process in that storage? Okay. If you are handling the um, Indian customer, okay, PAN card, you can store that PAN card number, permitted. It is permitted to store the PAN card. Render storage data unreadable per requirement. Okay. So you have to render it so that it should not be unreadable. You mask it. Okay. The other party should not use that. Even if you store it, no one should query with the PAN number. Okay. Like what you call you have ICICI machine here. Okay. And you got HDFC credit card. You are allowing, ICICI is allowing HDFC transaction, but he will not able to see that details, what is the limit, all those stuff will be hidden from that particular vendor. That's where these standard will come. Card holder name, okay, we can store. Let's go back to storage first. Service code you can store. Expiry date you can store. Full track data you cannot store that. Sensitive authentication data like your CVV number, PIN number, all you cannot save. If I go to Amazon, my Amazon, okay. So what we are achieving from these standards is, first is you have to maintain and secure the network. Okay, this is my goal, this is the requirement. You have to do this part. This is my goal. You protect the card holder data. So in the yesterday's slide there is some different for PCI DE, right? Separate network for that, because they have to follow this standard. Maintain vulnerability management program. How you are going to maintain using this remediation step, or it is a requirement. Strong access control and regularly monitor and test network. Maintain and implement SEC policies. So these are all the goals that PCI will ask us to maintain if we want to do the transactions. It is similar. So this is a PCI DSS requirement in AWS cloud, how they are going to do that. So we call it as something called data at rest. Even if you power off the system, it should be secured even if it is resting. Okay, this is end-to-end encryption in standard web application. Protection at rest. Requirement 4, encrypt on the network. Protection at rest means even if you power off, the data should be protected. That is protection at rest. Encrypt on the network. If it is live on the network, everything has to be encrypted. If you see here, everything is encrypted. That's the PCI DSS requirement. Cloud vendor is telling, okay, I have the PCI DSS requirement. You don't have to worry. You can come to cloud. And this is the Azure cloud. So I am doing the encryption here. From my payment gateway to app gateway to web tier, it is encrypted, and from my app tier to web tier to backend, that is also encrypted. If you see here, the rose arrow, it is all encrypted. So I am also following your PCI DSS standard. So these are all requirement for that. You can go through those all requirements. Okay. That's about PCI DSS.